I was drawn to martial arts kind of from an energy aspect. And when I got into Aikido, oddly enough, I got into, my lineage is not, we don't focus a lot on the energy side of the techniques. So I had my own ideas about extending, if you want to say ki or energy or intention. I'm not sure what the right word is. It's kind of scary sometimes you start talking about energy and people get jumpy. Mainly what I'm thinking in terms of is, again, just Aikido, coordinating the body, mind, and spirit. So some of the things that we're going to work on today, I'm going to be out in the weeds a little bit. I hope I want everybody to just be very casual and relax with this and play with some of the ideas that I'm talking about, experiment. It can be a playground or it can be a laboratory, however you want to think about it. I don't have the answers to everything. I'm not a Qigong master or anything like that, but these are just some of the ideas that I'm working with. Rather than try to do a particular series of techniques or something like that, I thought this might be more amenable to everybody to just work with some ideas. I'm going to do, we'll bow in, and then we're going to do a series of breathing exercises. And I'm going to do them very slowly, do them at a pace that you're comfortable with. I'm going to make some suggestions, the things that I think about when I'm doing the exercises. And then after we do that, I'm going to go back and touch on some maybe inside energy extension, intention extension ideas. And honestly, some of the stuff may sound really wacko to you, but that's okay because we're experimenting and hopefully just enjoying each other's company as well. So let's bow in and then we'll begin. Hey, can you hear everything all right?
Yes, we're good.
Okay, good. All right. Sean, you want to come? Right, what's up? This is Sean McCarty, one of my senior students. He's going to help me demonstrate some things. We're not going to be doing very much ukemi, if any at all. But while we're doing these exercises, you guys have probably done all this before, but I may have a different twist on it. Try to stay relaxed in your shoulders. I really catch myself carrying a lot of tension and stress up here. And of course, when we're confronted with something, somebody makes us upset or something, we tend to what I say, well up, or we get the monkey stance, like, oh, I'm going to do something now. But just try to relax throughout the exercises. I will be asking you, I'll say, do you feel tension in your shoulders? Are you lifting into your shoulders? Is there an energy leak here in your shoulders? The other thing is during the warm-up breathing exercise, I'm going to be bending my knees and moving like that, like this. I'd like for you to try to do that with me. You don't have to lower yourself maybe as low as I'm going, or if you do what's comfortable for you. But the important thing is to lower your center and bend your knees and try to maintain a good posture. Not stiff, but a good posture. So begin with just a cleansing breath here. So come down in, stretch back, forward, and I can then touch my toes or touch the ground, whatever you're comfortable with. So from here, I'm making like a bowl with my hands. I'm going to bend my knees and scoop up, or like I'm washing my face, come up, and I'm going to bend my back just to get some joint movement. Inhaling through the nose, out through the mouth. Now we're going to expand from the abdomen or to one point. In. In. Lift the hands, but not the shoulders. In. And I stretch up, down, out. This time we're going to come down and we're going to loosely lace our fingers together like we're reaching down into the earth. I'll talk about that a little bit. Loosely lace your fingers. Inhale up. Pull it up through your body. Stretch up. Come up on my toes a little bit. And down. Exhale. In. Out through your mouth. Next, when the hands come together, I bend my knees and I shoot up like a prayer position, shoot up with an in breath, sorry, out. So I clear, in, out. Clear, in, out. Hands come up and cross. Squat, sweep, exhale. Up, inhale. Prayer position, exhale. Up, in, out, in, out, slowly. In, out, in, out, slowly. This next movement might need a little explanation. If you'll hold your hands in front of you, like you're a big Buddha with a big belly, or you're holding a ball, or for some reason I always say it's stone, we're going to inhale, pick it up. Just watch me do this one time. Inhale, pick it up, step slightly to the side, pointing my toes in the direction that I want to travel. I turn and exhale, and just let the ball roll out of my hands in front of me. Then I turn from palms up, turn my blades down. Settle. Center, out, in, out. Going into the other side. Circle up, pick the ball up, pivot, point your toes in the direction. Exhale. Palms up. Blade down now. Settle. Center. In, out. Now, we do this 2 more times on both sides, and we're going to stretch a little bit more. You do what feels comfortable for you. You don't have to stretch as far as I do, or you can stretch farther. So up, out a little bit more. Inhaling. Down. Exhale. Blades down. Center. Up. Out. Going into the other side. Blades down. Center, out, in, out. Last time. In, big step, out. Blades down. Center, up, out. Last time. In, out, blade down, center, up, out. Nice gentle neck movement. Yes. Gently, no. Don't push it if your neck is hurting. Don't force anything. Ear to shoulder. Around one time. Let the weight of your head kind of roll around. Don't just use your neck muscles. In other words, don't go like this, but I lean and let my head fall and come around and move my body so my head kind of rolls around my body. If that makes sense. Right? Roll your shoulders back. As you do this, come back, bring your shoulder blades together, and then spread them apart. Now forward, same thing, in and out, shoulder blades in and out. Arms loose. Slow catch and stretch. Other side. And loose again. All right, just turn. Nice and easy. Okay, we don't need to warm up like we're going to be taking ukemi and stuff, so that's probably good for a warm up. Now I want to get into the talking a little bit about the exercises, the way I think and do the exercises. Just sit there, that's fine. Intention, what am I doing with my mind? A lot of times I know when I first started Aikido, I was young and I was strong, and I did everything really, tried to do it strongly. I used a lot of muscle. And as I've grown older, I'm not as strong as I used to be. My flexibility, I have some back issues, so I'm trying to take a little bit easier on myself. So I've finally given myself the opportunity to think about things instead of just jumping in and doing them. Learning how to extend my influence without sounding crazy here. It's not, Sean, if I can borrow it here. It's not about this. Okay, none of that. Although there may be people that can do that, I can't do it. What this is about is getting your thoughts to align with your body. And I don't know if there's a real term for it. I'm just going to call it biometric hoodoo. But getting your mind to work with your body. So one of the things that I like to start with is in the breathing, we do like the cleansing breath at the beginning. Now, I like to, when I do these, I like to stretch back in the breathing exercises and then come forward. If you're standing with us now, don't lean back so far that you lose your balance, but let your hands dangle at your side. Now let yourself go back. Nice, comfortable. Now pull yourself forward with your stomach muscles. Now there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm using a lot of muscles here, and it's sometimes it's a little hard on my back. Something I found is that if I use my hands in front of me, and I'll turn sideways here so you can see what I'm doing, I think. As I lean back, I keep my hands in front. Just watch right now. And then when I want to come up, I reach with my fingers and come forward. So again, I lean back. And when I'm ready to come up, I reach out with my hands, reach forward. My intentions are going forward. Try that a few times and see if you feel less stress on your abdomen. So you're extending forward. Now bring your hands under like this, and as you come up, roll them over. So here, I'm back. My palms are up. As I come forward, I roll them forward, and my intentions are coming forward. This is very simple or a normal thing. If you see something that you want, you might point your finger at it, and so your intentions are forward with this. You don't normally go, I'd like one of those, please. You don't pull away. So it's a natural movement, and just the intention of your hands, I think, kind of reduces some of the stress on your back and your stomach muscles. So when I do that opening cleansing breath, I do the big breath, and then I come back and I begin by inserting my intention in that forward movement. Now, the breathing that we do throughout the breathing exercise. I say I breathe in through my nose and breathe into my abdomen. You don't have to do anything obtuse, like really blow your chest up or your belly up. Just breathe in at a comfortable level, as deep as you can go without becoming uncomfortable, and then exhale through your mouth. Now, in one of the movements where our hands come out like this, I'm talking about expanding the hara or the tanden. The way I think about this is, I know I'm breathing in through my nose and through my mouth, but I imagine that I'm breathing in through my tanden. So as I come out, I'm breathing in, and I imagine it kind of glows and fills up my body or even the room. And then as I come back, it gets smaller and diminishes. Now, if that sounds obtuse to you, I know a lot of times we talk about opening our chest up. I do the same thing when I'm doing a movement, when I'm moving here. I imagine, you can imagine whatever color you want. Sometimes I imagine red or blue or white, but I expand and breathe in through my chest. Now I'm going to ask you to do something really crazy right now. I'm going to ask you to breathe in through your finger. And what I'm talking about, using your imagination, imagine that you're breathing in through your fingertip, and as you breathe in, whatever color you want, it's like a thermometer. It's coming up your finger, and hold it for a second, and then breathe out through your finger. I know that sounds crazy, but on your own, just like a thermometer, in through your finger, or you might stick your finger in a glass like a straw, draw it in, and then out through your finger. Do that a few times. All right, now breathe in and bring it on up your arm to your elbow. In, thermometer, the mercury's rising. And then out, breathe out. Several times. Now bring it up to your shoulder. Now while I'm doing this, I'm not pulling my shoulder up, I'm staying relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Now, breathe in through both fingers and bring it in as far as what you're comfortable with. Bring it up to your hand, bring it up to your elbow, or to your shoulders, whatever feels comfortable for you. All right. Now, I know this seems whimsical, but let's just play with it, okay? Now I'm going to bring it in from both sides. It's going to come up my arms, down through my center, down into my hara. And imagine your hara like glowing as the energy gets to it, or as your breath gets to it. All right? So through the fingers to the hara. And then out the same way, just the reverse. Remember the thermometer idea, the mercury rising, or the color coming through your body into your hara. Now, if all this seems wacko to you, that's fine. I apply it in my Aikido training, but it's also a good way to relax too. So if nothing else, if you don't get the vibe that I'm trying to get on this, it's okay. It's my wacky stuff. But it is a good relaxation exercise. So now let's breathe into your feet and come up to your knees. So same, the thermometer comes in, or the mercury rises as I inhale. Drawing from my feet, hold it for a second, and then out through your feet. Try to keep your knees relaxed through this process. Don't lock your knees. Try to keep your knees relaxed. All right, so now let's breathe in through your feet, bring it all on up to your hips and then into your tanden. So now I'm going to add a hand motion with this. We're coming up from the feet. I'm going to kind of lift it, turn it over and press out. As I inhale, I'm going to raise straighten my legs out a little bit, raise my center. Out, lower your shoulder. Keep your shoulders relaxed. All right, now this time we're going to inhale through the tanden. And you're going to send it out to the limbs of your body and out the top of your head. So the light, as you inhale, the light gets bigger, the energy, however you want to imagine, it comes out in through your body, out through your fingertips, out through your feet, and out the top of your head. So on your own, inhale, imagination. Comfortable, hold it for a second, exhale. Now, you can be exhaling through your tanden. Inhale. This time, inhale through your tanden, bring it up through your shoulders, through your arms, and through your hand, and exhale through your hands. And I'm inhaling here, palms up. Hold it. I turn my hands around, exhale through my fingers. You can say your index finger or all your fingers if you want to. Okay, so with those things in mind, does anybody have any questions about that? We're good?
We're good. Yeah.
Okay.
Unmute yourself if you do have a question, everyone.
Okay. So now we're going to go into the breathing exercises, and we'll just do a few of those, the few short ones here. Time is flying here. So we'll do the cleansing breath. So come back, inhale, hands in front, come forward, extend. Now we'll go down, stretch, and up, move back a little bit. So my instructor, one of the few things he ever said as far as energy or imaging something, he said that imagine that the center of the earth is a green molten ball. And this is like the life force key that's down in the earth. So now when you bend your knees and come down into the bowl, you're reaching down into the earth. Bring that up, inhale through your body, come up to your feet. Stretch a little bit, exhale, let it come out. Come up through your hands. Down again. I go lower maybe. And out. You can do it through your hands, you can do it through your breath. One more time, we'll do it with the breath. So down. Stretch. Blades out, exhale through your mouth and lower your center. Here we're going to breathe in, but we're going to breathe in through the tanden and out through the tanden. Hands up, breathing in through the tanden again. Now breathe in through your feet to the tanden. And out through your feet. All right, the next exercise is the one where we're doing this motion, the prayer motion. I'm squatting and I'm not going to bend over to dig a hole and then pull up like this. But as I'm coming down, our natural hand motion is like this. It's a te katana, right? Nice curved blade, not a broken blade, but a nice curved blade. So I'm going to squat, come down, blow out. Now inhale, coming up. And then out. Just through the mouth right now. Right? Down. In. Out. Again. So throughout these exercises, the breathing exercises, you can practice any kind of breathing that you want to do if you choose to. You can breathe in through your hands, you can breathe in through your feet, you can breathe in through your tanden, you can breathe in from here, you can breathe in through your throat, you can breathe in through the backside of your body into your heart from the backside. It's up to you. It's just an experiment to think about coordinating your energy, your intentions with your body movement. Okay, so one of the things that I struggle with, I have to back up again. I called this seminar hands, hips, and feet, and it's turned into this monster in my head where I came up with these other ideas. So it still involves the hands, hips, and feet, but a little bit different focus than what I had originally thought about. So, Sean, if I can borrow you here for a second. One of the, as getting into a technique utilizing this a little bit, moto tetori. When we do moto tetori kokyu ho, we're, what I see a lot of people do is they're lifting their hand like this, just raising their hand, which is putting a lot of stress on their shoulders. If you maintain your posture here and try to lift it resistantly, it's really hard to do that. And then you get into this battle where you're trying to pick it up from here. So what ties this in with the breathing exercises is I'm going to step off to the side, one, and I'm going to lower my center, and I'm going to put the energy in my arm, not on the top side like where I'm lifting, but I'm going to move it to the blade side of the te katana. Okay, so I'm just stepping to the side, and I lower my elbow, get my elbow lower than his hands, and I cut up like I'm raising a sword. And then I throw to the side. During that process, this is a mental exercise for me. I'm entering with the te katana with the energy on the bottom side. I have heard instructors say getting heavy on the bottom side. And then on execution of the technique, I go to the flat side of my hand and move in. So, but I'm not just thinking about pushing. I'm thinking about extending that energy. So I asked you to bring a pillow. And this is, if you'll get your pillow. I got a pillow. What all we're going to do is just hold the pillow up and lay your hand in it with the te katana with the blade down. Okay. Sometimes this is where the energy should be on this side of the hand. And you know from doing bokken work, we're cutting with the sharp edge of the blade, right? Okay. So in this instance with the te katana, my energy is on that side of my hand. So, and I'm extending that energy out. When we cut with a bokken, it's not a chop like this, right? I mean, the whole length of the blade is sharp. But when we cut, we're utilizing the centrifugal force of the blade out there along the kasaki, about the last 10 to 12 inches of the blade, the killing zone. So if this were my arm, the blade is resting here, but the cutting edge, the kasaki, is out here on the end of the blade, the last 10 to 12 inches of the blade. That's where most of the cutting is done. So as I step in, I'm reaching out and cutting from here. All right. So if my energy is on the blade side of the te katana, is that a better view? Here, and the kasaki is out here, then I'm extending this and I'm moving my body with this. So if you'll think about the energy thing again, bring the energy, breathe in through your finger, index finger, bring it around, you can bring it up to the elbow, and then take it out through your little finger. So breathing in and out through the little finger. So there is a forward mentality with this motion. It's just not laying here flat, but it's a forward energy coming in and energy going out. So when we do this with people, we don't just chop down like all shoulder muscle and arm muscle. There's a continuity of our tanden, our breath, everything coming out and going through this, extending through the person, or through the technique, I should say. Now, in this position, again, a lot of times what I see or feel with people, if you'll take that pillow, if you can with your pillow, and put it on top of your arm, and just hold it there. You feel the weight of it, and as you lift up, it's not a lot of weight, but you feel there should be a shift in the weight to go to your shoulder. So as you're lifting that, you're kind of fighting this. Now, from here, if your pillows are, that's a good size for all that. So what I'm going to ask you to do here is, instead of raising this, lifting your arm like this, just muscle, turn your blade, bring your thumb in, and let the energy come out through your little finger and raise it above your head. So I'm shifting the idea of lifting from here to cutting from here. So you can take the pillow down, and now you raise it up. Another way of thinking about this is you're going to pour some nice cool water over top of your head. Bring it up to here. Okay. Now, inhale. And we're going to slide forward a little bit as we cut with the energy on the bottom of our hand. So you should be feeling the energy on the bottom side of your hand, on the blade side, instead of on the top. Now, in the case of Moto Tetori Kokyu Ho, we're in this position, we enter cutting out, and I'm blending with the uke. He's coming in, his energy's coming this way, right? So as I enter, I'm turning and I'm raising there. So I don't feel the load on my shoulder. You can try this with partners later, but you can do it by yourself. I just need Sean here to coordinate this for me. Now, as I enter and raise my te katana here, as I do the execution of the technique, the energy goes from my blade to the back side of my te katana as I move through here. Slowly, blade side of the blade. So it's like the samurai, I think when they didn't want to kill somebody and they wanted to be nice, instead of cutting them here, they might turn the blade over and just whack you on top of the head with the flat side of the blade. So throughout this movement, I'm shifting energy from let's say the sharp side of the blade to the flat side of the blade. And inhale, flat side of the blade, exhale, move your body through. So without an uke, here, I step in, turn, raise my blade, turn the blade over and step through. So now with breath and intention, I'm going to breathe in, of course, through my nose. I'm going to bring it through my body and put the energy of the light, if you want to, on the sharp side of the blade. Come in, energy here. As I step through, I keep my body in alignment. I don't want to do this, step out, but I'm going to move everything together. Now the flat side, and the breath is going to be on the heavy side of the hand. Okay? Now, I don't want to go flat with this, with it meaning I don't want to raise up again into the shoulder and then get here and then try to push down. This is about an invitation, bringing the person in without them being afraid to move in, or tricking them to move in, depending on the situation, and then extending them. So invite in, now here, and I move over like a wave coming over. So without uke, in, out. You can do it on both sides if you want to, or if you want to do the pillow exercise, I'll give you a minute just to fool with this. If you want to do the pillow thing with the te katana, your blade here, or the back side of the hand, just to get the feel for where that's at. I know when I was first doing this, I put so much energy in, I was so tight, there's no way I could feel anything. And to be honest with you, most of the seminars that I attended, we didn't take, the instructors didn't have time for us to explore this stuff on the mat. They had a lot of people to deal with, so we went through the motions, and when I was young, I think my job was, I'm going to do Irimi Nagi as many times and as hard as I can until Sensei says stop. But this is a time to explore again and have fun with this. So if you want to get the feeling for this again, blade side, flat side, and the transition, even just holding it there and then rolling it over, just feel that transition. Just get an idea about where you're at, where the energy is. So now I have the magic flashlight. When you hold a flashlight, or when you use a flashlight, you generally just, you keep your posture and you shine the light in the direction where you want to see, right? It doesn't matter how hard you push the flashlight or how you mangle yourself to get into a position. I mean, you can turn the flashlight to look for something closer or up in a shelf or something like that. But the idea is you're extending yourself, your attention out in front of you. Okay? So again, it doesn't matter how hard I push that flashlight. The light is going to go where I'm pointing it, regardless. I know that, so I don't have to stress over this. It's the same kind of feeling with these techniques. I don't need to stress and push really hard. If I respect the form and extend, then we'll be doing this. It may not be like fighting style Aikido, but we'll be doing the form, and we're developing ourselves, our whole self, body, mind, and spirit. So again, Sean, if I can, when I extend here, it's like there's a flashlight coming out of my fingertips or out of the back of my hand. I raise it up, I shine the light on the ceiling, I look, and then I turn, and then I extend. Now, I can do it quickly if I want to, but I'm still extending. Rather than pushing down, okay? So, any questions about that? All right, so, backing up here a little bit, I want to talk about Irmi Tenkan. We've only got a few more minutes here. When we talk about Aikido, we talk about the natural movements of Aikido. I always used to read that, like in books, and I thought, this doesn't feel very natural to me. There's, the movements of it like that, that Morote Tori Koki Ho, open the door, step in and turn. This doesn't feel natural, but I think what O-sensei and Kishimaru Doshu and all the people who wrote all the books, I think what they're referring to when they talk about natural is trying to move your body in a natural way. So one of the things that I work with my students, and I have to work on myself all the time, is when we're doing Irmi Tenkan, or just Irmi to start with. The tendency for people when they enter, and in your system you may do this. I'm not completely right on anything. Everything in this book may be wrong, but this is just an idea that I work with. When I enter for Irmi, if you're looking at my feet, I try to point my toes in the direction. Let me back a little bit. I try to point my toes in the direction I want to travel. Now, my foot machine and my knee machine are made to work like in this way. Everything's moving together, and as my body weight passes over my foot machine responds in accordance with the way the joints are aligned. That's the natural way. Now, when I do, if I enter Irmi and I turn my foot out, my knee's going this way, my body's going this way. There is stress on that knee. Now, sometimes when I finish Irmi Tenkan, my foot will be turned out so I can get more hip rotation for the particular technique. But this is just something to think about. Be careful when you do that. If my body movement is going straight ahead, my knee's going like this, there's a lot of stress on your knees. So that's something you want to be careful about. The one that's worse than that is to turn your foot in like this. Well, turn here where my foot is going this way, which is what happens a lot of times when we're doing Irimi Tankan. Now, my body's moving this way and my foot is moving this way. That's bad medicine, and that hurts my knees just thinking about it, let alone doing it at full speed. So what I was taught to do was to point your toes in the direction that you want to travel. I'm gonna move back a little bit. And then as you carry your weight over your foot, you pivot on the ball of your foot. So if I do a step in Irimi Tankan, 1, 2, there's a transitional period there where I go, but I'm moving on the ball of my foot. I'll come here maybe, and then I'll stop and catch up and then let the ball of my foot turn. I don't want to try to do this from this position and leave my foot there. That's really hard on your knees. I mean, I'll turn this way, maybe a better view. Enter, hear me, pointing my toes in the direction I want to travel. I'm going to pivot on the ball of my foot. I have to have enough momentum to carry myself over that. So it's hard to do slowly, but you can practice enter and think ball of foot turn here. The other thing that is hard on this is to keep forward mentality and energy forward. The first time I heard somebody say energy forward at an Aikido seminar, I thought that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. But it's true and it's important. And so what I mean by that is if I enter and turn my foot here, going into the Tankan, I'm backing into the technique. So I don't want to be backing into the technique. I want to be blending with the attack and leading it forward. So just for kicks, do some Irimi Tankan. If you want to think about what I just said, think about that, but do Irimi Tankan the way that you normally do it. Okay, now ask yourself a question. Am I moving forward or am I backing up? And do it again. Some of you changed the way you moved. So really running short on time. As I enter, I want to maintain a forward mentality, meaning, Sean, if you would, the attack is stepping ski, please. The attack is coming here, right? I want to extend him and maintain a forward mentality. I can move, I can extend and throw him whatever I want to do. But if I enter into Irimi Tankan and I let myself become a victim of my momentum, meaning here, I enter, even if I turn my foot the way I was describing, but if I enter here and let myself come back here, my energy is going back. It's not going forward. Sometimes that's okay if I know that I'm going to be moving into another technique, but I want to be moving forward here. So just something to play with. And as far as breathing and intention, as I move in, if he attacks, slow motion, I'm going to join his energy and I'm going to extend this way and keep that energy going forward. If I fall back, I might lose him. I lose my connection, right? So I try to keep it forward. And another thing that I've been working on, lastly, here, let's go this way. little side. I've really been trying to enter deeply on all the Irmi Tangans. I used to practice here where we were like toe to toe and then keep everything moving in front of me. And now I try to enter deeper, and it's easier to keep things in front and move the person. So just some ideas about, I know we're out of time. I hope you enjoyed the breathing exercises, the imaging that I was talking about, the psycho body metric, voodoo, hoodoo, whatever, and exploring, connecting with that energy and putting it into a technique. We good, Brian?
Very good, Tom Sensei. Thank you.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions about that? I be glad to try to answer.
Please unmute yourselves. I love the flashlight image so much.
It's just extension and not tightening up. Here in our dojo, we've actually spent some time recently working on like street Aikido techniques, more for, you know, serious self-defense type situations. And all of the basic information that we utilize, the techniques don't necessarily look exactly like they do when we're practicing our elegant, beautiful Aikido movements, but the underground, the underworks, all still apply. Tai Sabaki, body movement, connecting your energy with your hands and your hips and feet. That's all I got.
That was a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So if there are no questions, we want to bow out.
Yes, please, Tom Sensei. Thank you.
Okay. Keith, I like your hat.
Me too.
Let's see, are we on the Camisa? Yeah. Take one. Hey, oh. Hey. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.